5 children died, 2 of them in Kansas. First, a 2-year-old girl at this farmhouse in Salina, then an 11-year-old boy in Junction City. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherd, Chow Chows. They're the dogs many say are responsible for the attacks.
I got a pack up here in the 1600 block of...
and they're running loose on our streets. Wichita Animal Control Officer Gretchen Klestenez.
Do you consider that type of dog dangerous?
They can be. They can be. Chows have a propensity to bite strangers if you're not family. Then.
Wichita's animal shelter is full of stray dogs responsible for biting people. That's why it pays to be prepared for an attack.
He's up, he's ready, he's gonna attack me. What do I do?
Vital lessons like knowing when not to run, scream, or stare into a dog's eyes. Even knowing how to choose from the litter and training your puppy are all things that could someday end up saving you, your child, even your dog's life.
They're not necessarily mean dogs. I have lots of Rottweilers and Dobermans and Chows and Pit Bulls that are just as sweet as they come. But it's those that have been trained to be aggressive. Those are the ones that I worry about.
What makes dogs attack in the first place? Whose fault is it when they do attack? And which dogs are most prone to attacks? We spent the last month trying to answer those questions. You'll see what we found out this week. Now, coming up tomorrow on Cake News at 10, we'll introduce you to some Wichitans who know what it's like to feel the wrath of an angry dog. That's Dangerous Dogs tomorrow at of Michigan. Pit bulls killed more than 60 people in the U.S. from 1979 to 1996. Rottweilers responsible for 29 deaths. German Shepherds, 19.
Rub them ears. Yes, you like that, don't you?
What makes them man's best friend one moment, killers the next?
Realistically, it's not the breed. It is the way that the dogs are raised.
Liberty Police Officer Tom Brenneman trains dogs around the world. He says many owners raise them irresponsibly and end up with unpredictable and dangerous dogs.
What about the people who just say, whatever? These dogs are dangerous, they're genetically dangerous.
The small dogs, they can pack up just the same as big dogs can. They just can't inflict the same amount of damage that a big dog will inflict.
Simply put, smaller dogs bite more, bigger dogs kill.
They can certainly do that, yes.
Any dog could have a propensity to bite. Just depends on the situation you put the animal in.
Wichita Animal Control Officer Gretchen Klestenez comes face to face with these dogs every day.
1500 block of North Volusia. There's supposed to be some loose dogs going after school kids.
On this day, she's chasing a pack of dogs in East Wichita.
Dang. They must have cut through. Headed back south.
Leading the pack, a female in season.
Male dogs will get aggressive around the female, and that's a potentially dangerous situation.
Animal Control captured more than 12,000 stray dogs in and around Wichita last year.
I'm going to have to issue a citation for the dog running loose. Do you have some identification, ma'am?
It may seem a little harsh, but owners are breaking the law.
It is the owner's responsibility to always make sure that their dog is either chained up, fenced in, or put inside their house. If it's not, Animal Control will come by and get your dog.
We get animals in daily that have been involved in animal bites.
The biters end up here at the Wichita Animal Shelter, where they'll be quarantined for 10 days.
A lot of animals, it is the owner's fault, the way the owner has trained the dog and socialized the animal.
Now that is the big debate, whether it's the dog's fault genetically or is it the dog owner's. Regardless, the dogs end up back here where they are quarantined for 10 days and they're checked out for rabies. And then what happens next is a hearing. The health department holds a hearing, and here's what they look for. The seriousness of the bite. Was the skin broken? Was there serious damage? They also check out the history of the dog. Has it attacked before? And they also want to check to see if the dog could attack again. Is it temperamental? Will it happen again? Now, if the department says yes to the conditions and they determine the dog is vicious, then it will either be put to sleep, or it'll be determined that they will be confined to a kennel for life. That means even in a backyard. They cannot run in a backyard. They have to be pinned up for life, or they could be ordered to live outside the city limits. Now, whatever they decide, the dog owner has the right to appeal the case entirely. It's just a big ordeal, and it's painful for the dog. It's painful for the dog owners. Now, coming up tomorrow on Quick News at 10 o'clock, a look at how to defend yourself against dogs' powerful bites and how to avoid a dog attack in the first place. And that's Dangerous Dogs coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And I also want to tell you that all these dogs behind me are going to be put to death tomorrow morning. Please be responsible, dog owners.
Wow.
Joins us now with some life-saving tips. Delane.
Well, I'll tell you what, Larry, if you ran into these three guys on the street, would you run? Would you run away? Would you scream loudly? Well, I'll tell you what, you wouldn't do that if you wanted to survive. And here's why. Dangerous dogs, they're a force to be reckoned with. Their powerful bite, several thousand pounds per square inch, enough to break bones and easily tear flesh.
When the child ran, the dogs immediately went into prey drive, and the chase was on. It's like a dog that chases a bunny rabbit. Yep.
Liberal canine supervisor Tom Brenneman trains police and protection dogs around the world. He testified in the Junction City case where 3 Rottweilers mauled an 11-year-old boy.
Did that little boy have a chance?
I don't believe he did. I believe he did.
That doesn't mean you don't. What sets big dogs off? For our safety, we use Dietz, the trained police dog, to find out.
Hold his leash tight.
Brenneman says a dog can easily turn aggressive at a blink of an eye. Eye contact sets the stage for an attack. He's up, he's ready, he's gonna attack me. What do I do? Human instinct, especially children's, is to run and scream. Animal instinct is to chase. And to Dietz, I'm now prey.
You run from a dog and you're flaying your arms and running and the dog's trying to bite you, that encourages the dog to bite more. And the louder you vocalize, the more you scream, the more you flay your arms or kick out, the more the dog is going to bite. Because he wants to kill his prey.
Gosh, I mean, I had no control over my legs.
No.
And he had complete control over me. He was just pulling me
Right.
towards it.
Right. Just a regular bite like this is 4 puncture wounds and clean and dress. But when the booty drive comes in and this starts happening and the dog starts hunkering, coming back, that's when damage occurs. And in the case, I believe in Junction, the child was drugged quite a ways. And that would be from the tug-of-war effect.
So what's the best way to handle an attack? Stay perfectly still. But if that doesn't work,
Give the dog your arm for less damage.
try to pull the dog towards a tree or a gate to create a barrier between you and the dog.
Okay, now what?
With that barrier, you would get up to the tree like so, and just bury yourself in between and keep moving it away, moving away. No! See, they're trying to use a little bit of pack instinct on me. One trying to come from one side and one another.
You can stop an attack in the early stages.
No.
Brenneman shows how to ward off these 2 untrained rots with just a clipboard.
No!
At one point, the dogs try to bite him, but then quickly calm down.
See how fast they recovered? The little aggression deal, and then they're like, oh, okay, he really is a good guy. This is not a problem.
A good indication these dogs are safe around people.
Good stable temperament, good nerves, good family house pets.
Now, these are great family house pets. The key here is they've been properly socialized, so much so that they work actually with senior citizens to, I don't know, become friends with more people. And that's the point of all this. So coming up tomorrow on Cake News at 10, we'll start from scratch. We'll go to the litter and tell you how to pick out dogs from there, and then how to properly socialize them, getting ready for the children, for the family, so that you can have a great family pet. That's the whole point of our series this week. So join us tomorrow on Cake News at 10. Back to you.
I think we have all have a new respect for man's best friend there, Delane. All right. Thank you very much. Susan?
Drug. Just set him out on command. There you see he got the odor, and now he's digging. Good boy, Wilbur. Get that dope. Come on, Wilbur. He responds to the odor by rooting. That's a boy. That's a boy, Wilbur. Get that dope out of there. Come on, get it out. He's 23 weeks old.
Thank you for requesting Vom Kaiserhofe's demonstration video. Before we talk about our program and our dogs, we would like to show you an incident involving the proper use of a canine team. What you are about to see is an example of what street police officers are faced with every day. In many cases, departments who do not have the luxury of a canine unit would spend many man-hours trying to apprehend a suspect in a situation such as this. Here is where we see the luxury of a canine unit in a police department. The officer calls for a dog team backup, and when the unit arrives, he'll fill them in on exactly what's just went down, and we can see what happens from there.
Wilson, stop the guy from running the red light. Back here at 290 Cross Park, we went 2 blocks and started running. I couldn't get him to stop. He got here, he bailed out his car, and he went off into the wood. And I just set up here and called you and everything you got here. I think you got the things in the wood, so that's a drop off.
Yeah, straight over that way?
Yes, I think straight there.
See any guns live anyway?
There are 2 ways for a dog to locate a suspect in an incident like this. Either track the suspect foot by foot, or do an area search into the wind, which is called scouting. But in this case, the decision was made to do an area search. The officer took the dog downwind, as we see here, and as he gets out of the car, he'll check the wind to determine the best way to approach the area in which he's about to search. Officer survival is a primary goal in all aspects of our training programs at Vom Kaiserhofe. What you are watching is good police procedure. We feel that this type of training needs to come from someone who has had the experience of working on the street with a dog as a police officer.
Police officer, you best come out of the woods or I'm coming in with a dog. Police officer, come out of the woods or I'm coming in with a dog. Police officer, come out of the woods or I'm coming in with a dog.
The owner of Vom Kaiserhofe has had the experience necessary to train your officers. After leaving the Green Berets, he trained dogs for the U.S. Army Scouting Dog Program. He has spent the last 10 years as a canine officer working 3rd shift for the Harvey County Sheriff's Department in Kansas.
Nobody. Hey, don't let that dog.
run from him.
Come on over here and get this prisoner.
Hey, don't let that dog bite me, man. All I did was run. I didn't...
Walk him straight over to your car. Good. Perfect.
Hey, I'm sorry, man.
Come on back over here. Guy you looking for?
Yeah, it sure is. I appreciate it.
Sure. Call us anytime.
Real good. That was real good.
Good police procedure involves the proper use of a canine team. This does not mean getting a bite on every arrest. The type of operation we have just witnessed results in good public relations for the department and the dog teams that work within that department. If the situation arrives where our dogs need to bite, they can bite. Our training programs are done on the street and are as realistic as possible. The patrol dogs that we sell are ready for your officers when you send them to the 2-week handler's course that goes with every patrol dog that leaves our kennel. If you buy a patrol dog from Vom Kaiserhofe, we ask that you be able to spend 2 weeks with us at our kennel facility. Not only will you be introduced to your dog and the training he has had, you will be exposed to extensive training on officer survival with a canine. The dog you have just watched is 18 months old and was just imported from West Germany. He's been on the street for about 30 days and is in the middle of his training. We prefer German dogs because the Germans have maintained the working instinct in their bloodlines without sacrificing good temperament. We want our dogs to go out there and do their work, but they must also be sociable animals in the community. The days of unapproachable, vicious police dogs are gone. We have a public image to maintain, and that can only be done by supplying good quality animals. The helper, or suspect, in the previous training exercises has been Tom Brenneman, the owner of Vom Kaiserhofe. I've already talked a little about Tom's experience, but I would like to expand on this by saying that in Tom's 10 years of working nights with a dog, he has had 27 street bites. Not one of these bites has resulted in a lawsuit against he or his department or an investigation by Internal Affairs. Tom is a canine instructor for the Kansas Sheriff's Association. He continually attends seminars in Europe and the United States on police dog training procedures, Schutzen, and the European ring sport. Twice a year, Tom holds seminars at his facility in Kansas for police officers and other trainers. Tom's current street dog, Dux, who we see here, is a Schutzen 3 import from West Germany. One of the things expected of Tom and Dux is to visit all the schools in his county every year and introduce the dog to all the school children. This goes a long way for his department's public relations. Unfortunately, many of the street police dogs in America could never handle this situation. But this is the type of temperament we at Vom Kaiserhofe like to see in our patrol dogs. They have to have this temperament to get along with the people in the community they live.
Okay.
It should be mentioned that Dux had 2 street bites within a 2-week period prior to this video. The first involved apprehending a burglar who had fled the scene of a crime at 2 in the morning. Dux located him hiding in a residential neighborhood after a 2-block area search. The suspect resisted arrest and was bitten in the upper thigh. Dux's second bite came a week later when a silent entry alarm went off in a building at 4 a.m. Tom entered the building with Dux after giving 3 warnings that he was coming in with a police dog if the suspect did not come out. Dux located the burglar hiding in the offices and apprehended him with a solid bite in the upper thigh. The third incident involved a silent entry alarm in the early morning hours. Tom and Dux did a building search only to find the suspects had already fled the scene. The resulting police work involved Dux running 2 tracks, one almost a half mile after the individuals had split up. All 3 people were located and arrested without incident. When police officers come to Vom Kaiserhofe's for training, they are given a copy of the Departmental Canine Procedures Manual. The officers will learn about court testimony involving canine procedures. They will learn how to develop a rapport between other officers in the department and the canine units. And they will learn about safety procedures in handling their dogs. We feel Vom Kaiserhofe's has covered all the necessary areas of training for your men and your dogs.
Spring.
In addition to patrol dogs, Vom Kaiserhofe offers a full range of narcotics and bomb dogs. Our patrol dogs can have one of these 2 specialized areas of training added to the police training for an additional fee. Or we can supply a dog trained just in narcotics or just in bombs. The breeds we import for patrol dogs are the German Shepherd, the Rottweiler, the Doberman, and the Malinois. For those departments or corporations who need narcotics dogs or bomb dogs and would like a different breed, we offer Black Labs or Golden Retrievers that will do this work. The young male shepherd we are watching is in the middle of his narcotics training. He has been trained for approximately 3 weeks, and you can see the results. In addition to offering dogs for sale, we also offer man-dog teams on an hourly or daily basis to come to your facilities to perform drug or bomb searches. Almost all our narcotics dogs are selected in Germany. Narcotics training requires a highly motivated dog to do the work. This young dog is a good example. Here at Vom Kaiserhofe, we utilize the German technique to train drug dogs. When they are finished, they will locate a number of different types of narcotics. Every patrol dog that leaves Vom Kaiserhofe is a trained tracking dog and scouting dog. Our tracking dogs are trained to work the hardest of tracks. When they locate evidence on a track, they are taught not to touch it, but to lay down next to it. This ensures that the evidence will not be contaminated for laboratory analysis. Our patrol dogs are also trained as scouting dogs. This form of tracking is the safest way to search an area for a dangerous suspect. In tracking, the dogs follow the exact footsteps of a person, where in scouting, the dogs are taken downwind of an area in which a person is hiding. They are trained to do an aggressive search into the wind to locate the suspect. All of Vom Kaiserhofe patrol dogs have extensive training in building searches. We feel this is the most important use of a patrol dog. At Vom Kaiserhofe, we offer 2 methods of training a patrol dog, the find and bark or the find and bite. The decision on which method a dog is trained in is made by the department purchasing that dog. When your officers come to our facility to pick up their patrol dogs, they will learn how to detect inhaling and exhaling doors and how these affect the canine search. They will also be taught different search patterns for different types of buildings. We will show them how their specific dog alerts to a hidden suspect. Each dog alerts a little differently. Burglars are becoming more and more sophisticated. Multiple burglars are a common occurrence today. Our officers will learn how to deal with multiple suspects in a building search. He will be instructed in the procedure to use when he is alone and the procedure to use when he has a fellow officer as a backup. Two other areas that Vom Kaiserhofe specialize in are personal protection dogs and instructor courses. The instructor course is an extensive 8-week course which includes all aspects of our dog training business. You will learn how to train narcotics dogs. We will show you where and how to get the government licenses necessary to do so on your own. You will be instructed in the training of patrol dogs, personal protection dogs, and you'll be exposed to some Schutzen work. When you leave our facility, you will have the confidence to train a number of different types of service dogs. Now, lastly, we would like to discuss our personal protection dogs. Not all people need a personal protection dog. We recommend you discuss your situation with Tom to determine if a dog will solve your problems. What you are watching here is a client of Vom Kaiserhofe who needed a personal protection dog because her husband was severely injured in an auto accident and her home was subsequently broken into 3 times. She has no experience as a handler and has just received this dog 4 days before the video. There are a number of questions that must be considered before purchasing a dog for personal protection. You must be honest with yourself and Tom concerning how strong a dog you can handle. We have a questionnaire that every customer needs to answer concerning his needs and abilities. Vom Kaiserhofe's personal protection dogs are all sold with the customer's needs in mind. It's important for us to make sure that our dogs fit into their new environment. If our client needs a dog to live in the home with a family, we need to find him a dog that's lived in a house all his life and is house trained. But if the client is not going to have the dog in the house, he's going to leave the dog in a kennel, then we need to find a dog that's used to living in a kennel. It's impossible for us to take a dog that's been a house dog all his life and exile him into a kennel. It's just too hard on the dog's temperament. These are just a few of the minor points that we have to consider before we place a personal protection dog.